Hey, since it's the last week of school, I thought it'd be super fun to do something a little bit different for math. And I talked about this a little bit last week, or at least mentioned it, but you are going to have the opportunity to do some virtual escape rooms for math this week. So we will be doing an escape room on Monday today and Wednesday, and then you will not be doing one on Tuesday or Thursday, okay? So on Monday and Wednesday, so today and Wednesday, you are going to first watch a tutorial video explaining how to kind of maneuver your way through these virtual escape rooms. And then you are going to do one all by yourself. It'll be one that's completely different than the one that we're doing all together as this tutorial, okay? If you have any questions while you are doing one by yourself, please don't hesitate to ask for help. I am here by my computer, so I will be more than happy to help you, okay? Let's get started. So, first of all, this escape room is the bees stolen honey. So you're going to first read the introduction, and that'll tell you a little bit about what their problem is and what our job is to help them. So this introduction says, "Please help us. It has just turned springtime and someone has taken our honey. We are so hungry and need our honey. Can you please help us find our honey? You will need to find 4 hidden letters as we search for our honey. Unscramble these letters to find the final clue and help us. You will have to solve math problems along the way. I wonder which forest animal took our honey." Then you're going to scroll down. Here you can watch a little video from this is from the bee. So if you want to watch it, you can. It's just kind of cheesy, but
Hey everybody, could you please help us find our honey? Some animal must have taken our honey and we really need it. We're super hungry and we'll starve without our honey. Please help us.
then once you have watched that video, you're going to scroll down and this will bring you to the first clue that you have to solve. So first, obviously, read the directions and it says, solve each addition equation, then use your decoder, which is here on the right, and the number in the tens place to find the letters for your next clue. So if you add together the 4 numbers in number 1, you'll get the total of 117. And in the tens place, there is the number 1. So then I'm going to look over at my decoder, and 1 equals C. So underneath that first equation, I'm going to put a C. Then for number 2, it says you want to add all those numbers together, and you get a total of 75. Well, in 75, the number 7 is in the tens place. So then go over to the decoder, 7 equals R. So then you are going to put R next to the C or underneath the equation, whichever one makes more sense to you. When you add together the 4 numbers for number 3, you get 69. The number 6 is in the tens place. So if I look over here, 6 equals A. So then I'll put A underneath that equation next to the R. Number 4, if you add those together, you get 92. The number in the tens place is 9, and 9 is equal to Y. So I'm going to put a Y underneath that equation next to the A. For number 5, the total is 85. 8 is the number in the tens place, so I'm going to put the letter O next to the Y. And then last, I'm going to add together the 4 numbers in number 6, and that is going to give me a total of 105. 0 is in the tens place, and 0 equals N. So I'm going to put an N next to the O. And then I'm going to type in what word I just spelled out. So I spelled out crayon. Now go down to this next part and it says, see what the gray squirrel says. Find the hidden letter and write it down. You will need this letter for the final code. Have you seen our honey? The squirrel says, not me. I like acorns. Look around for a hidden letter. You will find this letter for the final or you will need this letter for the final clue. And you're going to look around and see, do you see a letter anywhere? Hey, look, I see the letter L. So I'm going to write down L somewhere on my paper where it won't get lost, okay? Now we're on to clue number 2. Clue number 2 is a bar graph, and it says, use this bar graph to answer the next 5 questions. So this bar graph tells us number of jars of honey sold by Girl Scouts. And this says number of jars sold, and then month of the year. So we have April, May, June, and July. So then it says directions, use the bar graph to solve each word problem. Then use your decoder and the number in the ones place to find the letters for the next clue. So number 1, it says, how many jars of honey were sold during the months of April and May? Well, April, there were 54 jars sold, and in May, there were 59 jars sold. So I'm going to subtract, I'm going to add, excuse me, because I want to know the total. I'm going to add 54 plus 59, and that gives me a total of 113. And the number in the ones place is a 3. So over on our decoder, 3 is equal to m. So then I'm going to put an m underneath that equation. Number 2, it says, how many jars of honey were sold during the months of June and July? Well, in June, there were 50 jars sold, and in July, there were 45 jars sold. So 50 plus 45 is equal to 95. And in 95, the number in the ones place is a 5. So 5 is equal to u. So under that equation next to the m, I'm going to write u. Number 3, how many more jars of honey were sold in May than July? So now we need to know the difference. So this one we're going to be subtracting. So we're going to subtract 59, that's how many jars were sold in May, minus the number of jars that were sold in July, which is 45. And when I subtract that, I get 14. Well, 4 is in the ones place, and 4 equals S. So I'm going to put the S underneath that equation next to the U. So right now we have MUS. Next, it says, how many jars of honey were sold during the months of April, May, and July? So for this one, we are going to be adding again, because we want to know the total. So April, May, and July. Well, in April, there was 54, and in May, there was 59. So 54 plus 59 is 113. And then in July, there was 45. So then I'm going to add 113 plus 45, and that equals 158. In the ones place, the 8 equals I. I'm going to put that next to the S and underneath that equation. Last one, it says, how many more jars were sold in May than June? So again, we need to figure out the difference. So in May, there was 59 jars sold. In June, there was 50. So 59 minus 50 is equal to 9. And 9 is in the ones place. So that would be C. So now we have MUSIC, which spells music. So that is going to be the answer to clue number 2. Then it says, see what the mountain goat says. Find the hidden letter and write it down. You will need this letter for the final code. The bees are saying, have you seen our honey? And the mountain goat says, not me. I am just trying to find a place to stay dry. Look around for a hidden letter. You will need this letter for the final clue. If I look around, I can see G. So I'm going to write down G next to where I wrote the L, because those letters are separate from these little clues, and that's going to be for a clue at the very end. So right now, for those hidden letters, we have L and G. Next, it says, use a scratch piece of paper to draw rectangles to help you solve these problems. They're making arrays, basically, or figuring out the area. So it says, draw the number of rows and columns from each problem, making the same size squares. Then use your decoder and the number in the ones place from the total number of squares made to find the letters for the next code. The first one has been done for you. So you can either just multiply 4 times 4, or you can draw the squares if you need to. So 4 times 4 is 16. So I'm going to put the number in the ones place is 6. So 6 equals E. So I'm going to write down E underneath that equation. For number 2, I'm doing 3 times 4. or you can draw the rows and columns, that's fine. 3 times 4 is 12. Well, 2 is in the ones place, and 2 is equal to x. So now we have EX. Next, we have 2 down and 4 across. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 is equal to I. Now we have EXI. Last, 6 down and 4 across. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 is in the ones place, and 4 is equal to T. So our answer for clue number 3 is exit. See what the red fox says. Find the hidden letter and write it down. You will need this letter for the final code. The bees are saying, have you seen our honey? The fox is saying, not me. I'm allergic to honey. Look around for a hidden letter. You will need this letter for the final clue. And I see the letter E. So next to my L and G for my hidden letters, I'm going to put E next to it. Last one, it says, below are 3 trees and how tall each tree is in feet. Solve the word problems below and use the number in the ones place from each answer and the decoder to find the word clue. So number 1, it says, how tall are the trees in total? So you're going to add together 25 feet plus 39 feet plus 22 feet. And when you add that together, you get a total of 86. Well, the number in the ones place is a 6. So we're going to have B for our first letter. How tall is the oak and pine tree all together? So oak and pine. So you are going to do 25 plus 39. 25 plus 39 is equal to 64. 4 is in the ones place, which means L. And we have BL. Third problem, we have how much taller is the pine tree than the palm tree? That'll be subtracting. I want to know the difference. Pine tree and palm tree, 39 minus 22. 39 minus 22 is 17. A 7 is in the ones place. So 7 is equal to A. Now we have BLA. Next we have how much taller is the oak tree from the palm tree? The oak tree is 25 feet and the palm tree is 22 feet. So the difference is 3. 3 is equal to C. Last we have how tall is the palm and pine tree all together? We'll be adding palm and pine tree. 22 plus 39 is equal to 61. 1 is in the ones place, so that means it'll be K. So then the answer to clue number 4 is black, B-L-A-K. B-L-A-C-K, excuse me. Now it says, see what the skunk says, find the hidden letter and write it down. You will need this letter for the final code. The bees are saying, have you seen our honey? The skunk says, yuck, honey, that stuff is too sticky. Look around for the final letter. Then unscramble the 4 letters to find the final clue. Here is a hint for the final clue. Honey is sticky, and so is this. And our next final letter is U. So we have L, G, E, U. And I'm thinking something is sticky. I know, glue. So we're going to write glue for the final 4-letter clue. Then it says, I'm sorry. You know us bears love honey. Please forgive me. And then the bees are saying, you did it. Thank you. You found our honey, Mr. Bear took the honey. You saved the day. And then on yours, you are going to click, this will say submit. And you're going to submit your answers and see how well you did. I hope this makes sense. I hope you guys have fun and enjoy your escape room. Have a good day. Bye.